Have you ever stopped to think that, I don't know, the real secrets to success, the stuff that actually matters, might not be in some heavy book or a big fancy lecture?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes it's just hidden in plain sight, isn't it? Like in a
Yeah.
simple conversation you didn't expect.
Exactly. And well, that's what we're diving into today. We're looking at this one particular story. It's about two guys, seemingly from totally different worlds.
Right. One's this big shot businessman,
Yep.
really successful.
And the other, a gardener, just trying to make ends meet. But they have this one conversation, this really raw, honest chat.
And it changes things
Yeah.
profoundly.
Yeah. So our mission here is to kind of unpack that exchange. What can we really learn about perseverance,
Yeah.
about what success actually looks like?
And about bouncing back from tough times. Because this story, even though it's personal, it shines a light on these, universal truths, doesn't it? Things that affect all of us.
Totally.
But-
So let's paint the picture. Imagine it's late afternoon, sun's coming through the windows of this swanky corporate office. Mr. Raj, big name, successful businessman. He's wrapping up his day, probably feeling pretty good.
Yeah, giving some last instructions to his assistant, Arian, ready to head out.
But just as he's leaving, someone stops him. Politely, but, firmly.
And this guy introduces himself. Ramesh.
Yeah.
Says he's from Green Life Company, the gardening service they use.
And Mr. Raj is maybe a bit confused at first, then it clicks. Oh, right, the gardener.
Yeah, that little moment. It kind of shows the gap between their lives right there, doesn't it?
It does. But Ramesh, he doesn't back down. He's clearly been waiting. He has something he needs to say.
You could almost feel his determination.
So they find a quiet spot, maybe in the garden area itself, and Ramesh just asks. It's quite bold, really.
He says, "Sir, I hear your company's #1. I wanted to ask, how did you become so successful?"
Wow, straight to it,
Yeah. And Mr. Raja even says, that's kind of personal. People don't usually ask that.
which is fair enough.
But Ramesh, he apologizes, but then he just lays it all out there. His vulnerability is, it's powerful.
He says what? That he's been a gardener for 9 years.
9 years, yeah. Struggling with money. He says, I just want to learn. But then he gets to the real heart of it.
Which is,
It's not just for him. His son wants to be a businessman. And Ramesh feels completely lost. He doesn't know how to guide his own child. It's this plea, from a father wanting a better future for his kid.
that hits differently, doesn't it? It's not just ambition, it's aspiration for the next generation.
Exactly. It's that raw honesty, seeking knowledge, not a handout, that kind of thing. It opens doors.
So how does Mr. Raj respond to this very direct, very vulnerable question?
Well, his first piece of advice is pretty blunt. He says, a success doesn't come from shortcuts. It requires hard work and consistency.
Okay, standard advice maybe. Hard work, consistency, we hear that a lot.
True. But maybe the power is in who is saying it and why. And then he digs deeper. He tackles Ramesh's biggest roadblock.
Because
Ramesh's own belief about himself. He admits, I didn't study much. I didn't think I was capable.
oh, that feeling, that self-doubt. So many people grapple with that. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the background.
Precisely. But Mr. Raj pushes back on that, gently but firmly. He says something like, look, education helps, sure, but it's not everything.
So what is more important, according to him?
Experience
Yeah.
and vision. He's saying what you've learned by doing and your ability to see possibilities,
Yeah.
that matters more than a degree sometimes.
That's a really empowering message, isn't it? Your past doesn't have to dictate your future capability. It's about what you do and how you see.
Absolutely. It reframes capability. It's not just about formal learning. It's about practical wisdom and, seeing opportunities others miss.
And to really drive this home, Mr. Raj doesn't just give advice. He shares his own story.
And it's quite a story. Not what you might expect from a top CEO.
He starts with his childhood.
Yeah, small village in Bihar,
Mhm.
big family, 5 brothers, 2 sisters, and real poverty, like deep poverty.
Abdi.
He actually says, sometimes we went to bed without food. He talks about seeing his own father cry because he felt so helpless.
Wow. That paints a picture. That's intense.
It really is. And he talks about making this silent promise to his dad that he would change things for them.
So he studied hard, even with limited resources.
As hard as he could, local government school, making the most of whatever he had.
But it wasn't a straight line to success from there, I'm guessing.
Not at all. He ended up in Delhi, got a job, but the pay was really low.
Sending money home, trying to help.
Exactly. But after 2 years, he looked at the situation, looked at the tiny amounts he could send,
Mhm.
and nothing was really changing back home. The family was still struggling badly.
That must have been crushing. That
Yeah.
feeling of working so hard but seeing no progress.
He said he felt hopeless.
Yeah.
And he faced a choice, right? Keep grinding away for pennies
Yeah.
or do something different.
Then he chose different.
He quit the job. Decided to try and start something himself. Entrepreneurship.
Gutsy move, especially with that background. Did he get funding easily?
Far from it. He tried to get bank loans. Got rejected. Again and again and again. Just doors slamming shut.
Man, imagine that. Trying to pull your family out of poverty, finally taking a leap, and just hitting rejection after rejection. How do you keep going?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
But somehow he did. He kept pushing, kept asking, and eventually, finally, one bank said yes.
Okay, so then success came.
Still nope. He admitted, I failed in my first business. Failed again.
Oh, wow. So even with the loan, it wasn't smooth sailing.
Not even close.
Hmm.
But here's the key thing he said. But I kept learning.
Kept learning. Okay, what does that actually mean, though? It's easy to say, but when you're failing.
Right. It means he wasn't just like dusting himself off and trying the same thing. He was figuring out why it failed. Was it the market? Was it cash flow? Was it something he did wrong?
So analyzing the failure.
Exactly. Taking it apart. And then using that knowledge to tweak the next attempt.
Yeah.
Making changes based on what went wrong.
Hmm.
It wasn't just blind persistence.
It was adaptive persistence. Learning and iterating.
Precisely. He talked about the grind. Working day and night, skipping meals sometimes, making sacrifices. It wasn't glamorous. It was just this long, tough climb.
So back to his earlier point.
Yeah, he circles back. There's no magic formula, just consistency. Yeah. But it's that informed, adaptive consistency he's talking about.
And how did Ramesh react to hearing all this raw, honest story of struggle?
He was clearly moved. You could hear it in his voice, apparently. He told Mr. Raj, Sir, you've inspired me so much, I'll never forget this.
You can imagine hearing that from someone who's made it. It changes your perspective.
Totally. And Mr. Raj gives him one last piece of really potent advice.
Which is?
Failure is your teacher. Learn from it. Don't give up. Simple, but powerful, especially after the story he just told.
It sums it all up, doesn't it?
It does, but then Mr. Raj does something more. It's not just talk.
Oh.
He offers Ramesh a job.
Yeah.
Right there. Tells him, submit your form today. You can start tomorrow. And adds, I'll try to support you however I can.
Wow, he didn't just share wisdom, he offered a concrete opportunity, a hand up.
Yeah, putting his money where his mouth is, essentially.
Yeah.
Believing in Ramesh's potential after that conversation.
And Ramesh, what was his commitment?
He promised he'd share Mr. Raj's story with his son. Keep that inspiration going, pass on that lesson of resilience.
That's beautiful, the ripple effect of one conversation.
And the whole thing, this entire interaction, it really boils down to one core principle, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. It's that line, your circumstances don't define you, your choices do.
Exactly. And then the kicker, never give up. It's all about agency, choice, and just refusing to quit.
What a powerful story to dig into. We've really pulled out some key things here, haven't we?
Definitely. The sheer impact of a single, honest conversation. What success really means, it's not shortcuts. It's this gritty, adaptive journey.
And the huge role of consistency, but also actively learning from failure, not just enduring it, plus having that vision.
And you know, this story, it isn't just about Mr. Raj becoming successful or Ramesh getting inspired.
Right. It's about principles that apply to anyone, really. Anyone facing a challenge, anyone wanting to grow, anyone feeling stuck by their situation.
It's that reminder that we have more power, more agency than we sometimes think. That quiet strength of just keeping going.
So thinking about that final message, that your choices define you, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, for you listening?
Yeah, what's one small choice you could make? Maybe a tiny shift in habit, or just how you look at things. Something consistent, starting today.
Something that aligns with these lessons from Mr. Raj and Ramesh. How could that one small, deliberate choice start to add up, start to shape your future down the line?
It's something to think about, for sure. That power of consistent, conscious choice.